What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers advice today, man. Today's video, I had one planned, but then all of a sudden some breaking news came out. Now, it may not be breaking, right? But a couple hours ago, they released that the Panthers signed somebody who's never really played football before. So we're going to get into that in a little bit. And then it talked about the Panthers also brought in a couple guys who are projected to go later first round and past that. So that tells me maybe the Panthers might be doing a little something in the draft, man. Let's talk about it in the video, baby. Let's get into it. So first up is this right here. Panthers signed tight end Collin Granger. Now, let's get a little breakdown on Collin Granger before we get into this whole film breakdown, all right? Says right here, the Carolina Panthers signed Collin on Monday. He played D1. He played at Ohio, then made his way to the Carolinas. After 2 years at Western Carolina, he finished his career at Coastal Carolina. Now, down here is where it gets kind of touchy because I read he's 6'9", 220, but then right here it says he's 6'8", 245. Apparently he has a little mixtape, right? A little House of Highlights and mixtape for those of you who remember back in the day, right? So Collin Granger, all right, 6'9", 245. The height was an inch off, so or maybe they're just trying to boost him up. So 6'9", 245. Let's see what Collin's going to give us, all right? And as you can tell, I'm in OBS because I want to slow some things down. All right. First one we're going to look at right here. All right. He's got some skill. All right. He's got some athleticism. He's not just a big body, right? He doesn't have 2 left feet. He's got some skill. All right. Next one we're going to look at right here. All right. We don't have to jump on every pass. Sometimes you got to get in front of that ball, right? Use your body as a shield. We don't have to jump, right? Because what happens when that DB's coming and bang, knock you out right there, right? Little DB right there, bang, 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 bang. Not the best stick figure, but you guys get where I'm going. So we see he has some type of athleticism. Right here, I'm like, okay, not bad, right? Nice little out route you're going to see. The problem is, if you're running an out route as a tight end, okay, what's going to happen is that linebacker who's potentially playing off, if he kind of sees the way you're going to dictate, he's going to shove you and he's going to knock you off. So when I'm watching him run, it's not the most fluid, but it's definitely not the worst. We'll keep it going. So far, not bad. And then we go into this right here. All right, I guess what? We're trying to dip underneath right there. You got defensive end, edge guy coming in. All right. This is what I want to pause it out right here. So this would obviously need work. All right, because from the jump, all right, that's obviously going to need some work. I really wish they would have thrown a helmet on him, to be honest with you. But then right here, they told him to go, what, 5-10 yards? Let's see. What, 5-10 yards, right? Plant, bang. All right, come back, right? You put your leg out like that, oh, homie. Oh, that's not good. All right, because what's going to happen is a linebacker sees you plant like that, it's a wrap. And then they're going to see you also slowing up like this. Come through, bang, plant, right? But again, he's never played football. But I don't want to see this. Oh, this is bad, right? But we'll keep it going. Again, first time playing football, it says right here. We'll get him a little 3-point stance. Yep, 3-point stance, bang. All right, chip the edge guy right there, bang, work his way out. That was actually, I'm not gonna hold you. That was actually pretty clean. Take a look at this. All right, bang, work the edge guy right there, spin out. That's kind of like a pick and roll to a point, right? So set the pick, roll out, right? Inside the box, maybe a little mid-range. This was actually pretty clean. If they can get him to do more things like this and slowly work to planting that foot, this was actually pretty clean. This was actually pretty clean. Let's keep it going, all right? Right here, 3-point stance again. I mean, I can't say anything bad or good. And then right here, once again, a little dip. All right. He looks kind of gassed. I'm not going to lie to you. I would like to see a little bit more explosiveness right there. Right, but maybe that's just not in his forte right now. Let's keep it going. What else we got? All right, lined up on the hash. Little fade. All right, I mean, it's not bad, right? Nice little catch. Right, just throw it into the breadbasket. Not bad. I mean, I'm not going to overhype anything. I think so far the best thing was, blocking the edge guy down. And then, the little fade routes in the end zone. The dude can play, right? The dude can play. But what I wish they would have done was throw some pads on him, throw a helmet on him. Because if you haven't ran in pads before, it's different, right? Especially when you're going to have to go get it. A helmet. I talked about it all the time with Bryce Young. And like, people are like, he had a guy open on this side. Yes, but sometimes the progressions have to work his way over there. He's not going to look right away. Same thing with these high balls, right? You can't see it like that all the time until you get to that point at the end, right? So I wish they would have thrown some pads on him, or at least a helmet, one or the other one, so I could have kind of see what we're working with a little bit more in depth. But again, you know, they got him signed to the Panthers, so we'll see what happens, man. So far, not bad. All right, right here, a little crosser. You know, nice hands. So that right there wrapped it up for Collin Granger. Honestly, not bad for the fade routes in the end zone. I like the one where we're spinning off that block right. Block the edge guy down, bang, spin off, catch it. Plants obviously need a little bit more work, but I think there is some potential there. Let's talk about the next thing we're talking about today. Carolina Panthers hosting 2 high-end defensive prospects today. Now, this one is interesting, and there's a reason for that, okay? Because Donovan E. and Ole Miss defensive tackle Walter Nolan are both projected to go late in the first round, early second round. Panthers pick 8. Is there a chance they'd trade back to get more picks and grab Donovan or defensive tackle Walter Nolan? I think there's definitely a chance, to be honest with you. I mean, I think they have their eye on a couple of guys, and if they're not there at 8, I definitely see them trading back because there's more than just Donovan, to be honest with you, right? There's more than just Walter. There's a lot. And the thing with Donovan is he got the Ted Hendricks Award given annually to the college football's top defensive end. Here are some notable winners: Terrell Suggs, David Pollock, Elvis Dumerville, Lamar Woodley, Chris Long, Brian Arakpo, Jerry Hughes. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, Chase Young, Aiden Hutchinson, Lato. I mean, and then you got Donovan at the end. And here's his numbers right here, okay? Here's Donovan's numbers. 6'2", but 250, all right? 34-inch reach, all right? Broad jump, 9'11". That, whew, all right? 20-yard shuttle, 4.19. Didn't run a 40. What should all this tell you? What it told me, and after watching the tape too, he's a bigger, stockier Abdul Carter, but slower. That's why I use the word kind of bigger, but also stockier too. All right. Let's look at the tape real quick. Give me your perspective on it. Let's take a look. First play we're going to look at. All right. Top of your screen right here. Going against the left tackle. Take a look what happens right here. All right. Bang. What? Swim move right over the top. Let's take a look. Are we going to pin? We're going to use that inside arm. Pin that down right there. I know it's hard to see over the running back's helmet. We're going to pin that down. Swim move over the top. And then bang, we're in the quarterback's face. Good stuff right there. Second play right here. On this one, you're going to see him lined up over the left tackle. Take a look what happens right here. Bang. Like I said before, he reminds me a lot of Abdul Carter. Just how fast he is off the edge. Again, speed for speed. Carter has him. But man, he is up there. Next one we're going to look at right here. Nice little spin move. Bang. Taking down the quarterback. All right, so the first play we saw, you know, pin that inside arm, swim move over the top. This time we're going to see a spin move. Bang, right? Shoves the tackle to the quarterback. This play right here is kind of what I want to reference when I say speed for speed. He doesn't have what Carter has, right? Running back is going to outrun him, right? Now, what this means is down the road, he's going to have to take some better angles. He can't try and basically outrun a running back in the NFL. It's a different type of speed. So right here, I mean, I don't know what he could have done other than basically try and force the running back to keep going out, right? But that's the one knock on him is his speed. He just doesn't have that. But does a great job when he's in the vicinity, you know, closing tackles, right? Wrapping up. Nobody's ever complained about that when it comes to him. And right here, once again, left tackle. All right, remember, you've seen the spin, you've seen the swim, and right there, it's just a rip through underneath, right? Leverage that body out, rip through. Bang, look at that. Just ripping through right there and taking on the quarterback. This is impressive, okay, because he's showing you he can do a little bit of everything, and it all looks pretty clean too. And then right here, you got him chasing down the quarterback, all right? Like I said before, he doesn't have that speed, so he's got to work better on his angles, right? When it comes to making tackles outside of the pocket, outside of kind of the hash, right? That's the only knock on him, honestly. It's just to work on the angles. And right here, bang, force pressure on the quarterback, Cam Ward. Bang, Cam throws a pick right there. Good stuff right there. We have a few more plays left. Let's take a look right here. All right, left tackle once again. Take a look at this. All right, right here. He just knows how to use his body as leverage, right? Rip through once again. Bang. You see the rip. You see the swim. You see the spin. And this play was nasty. I think I showed it from a different angle. All right, they're going to run a stunt right there. Left, back to the right. Nice little Euro step. Take a look at this, all right? The tackle and the guard actually switch off pretty good right here. So he's going to pick up him right there. He thinks he's going to pick up Donovan. Take a look. All right, Donovan goes left. Guard gets set. Bang. Donovan goes right. Very, very patient player. I can't stress that enough. A lot of guys playing on the edge, man, they're all go. I think Barno was like that. DJ Johnson is like that. Donovan, very patient. He's watching. He's reacting. Bang. Very rare, to be honest with you. So that's going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts. I think the Collin Granger thing was very interesting. There's potential there. We got to work on that plan a little bit. Otherwise, he's going to hurt himself, you know. Then the Panthers bringing in 2 guys that they could draft later in the first round. That would be interesting. That tells me, you know, hey, they're looking at probably 2 to 3 guys in that top 8. And if they're not there, they're probably going to trade back. So we'll see what happens. That's going to wrap it up. Panthers Advice is out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. The video I was going to do today, we're going to push that to Wednesday. And then we're going to look at some film on Friday. And the cycle repeats, man. I'll catch you on the next one. Panthers Advice is out. Take it easy, guys. Peace.